Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, species around the multiverse, welcome back once again to Geek Syndicate. This is episode 306. And what we're doing, I'll tell you what we're doing. We're bringing the sass back to geekdom. I am Monts, and he is...
Hey up. It's me, Nuge. What up, peeps?
Yeah. Sup, Nuge.
Yeah. By the time you listen to this, probably I will have turned 50.
When's your birthday?
What do you mean, when's my birthday? How long have you known me for? You telling me you don't know when my birthday is?
Hold on. You've known me like most of your life.
12th of September.
And you're surprised that I don't know your birthday.
Yours is 12th, isn't it?
How'd you know that?
See?
No, but how'd you know that?
What do you mean, how do I know that? I know that because we're best friends and I've known you for most of your adult life.
Blatantly.
And your childhood.
Blatantly didn't expect you to know.
Yeah, you see? You own that shame, man.
I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. I've always known your birthday's in September because you were one of the oldest in our class.
Yeah, so that sets me apart. What sets you apart?
Wow. It's like that, is it? For those who don't know, and apparently one of those is my best friend, my birthday is the 31st of May.
31st of May, I knew that.
That was even.
I knew that.
That even. Right.
I was bluffing, man. I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's embedded in my subconscious, man. I'm all right.
It's not the only thing's about to be embedded in someone's subconscious, man. My right foot.
Yeah. So, happy birthday. What are you doing for your birthday?
I'm going to Stockholm.
Why Stockholm?
Good question.
You don't really know, do you?
I have no answer for it. I've kind of always, no. But also as well,
I've kind of always wanted to. You've never mentioned it in your life.
No, I've never mentioned it before. But also as well, one of the reasons why I wanted to be out of the country is it means that my wife can't organise a surprise birthday party.
Wisdom.
Which is what I've said, like from day dot, I don't want. Even when she's given me a little wink and gone, when you say you don't want one, no, when I say I don't want one, I mean I don't want one. This ain't no Mike Laird.
Hold on a second. Siobhan, we need to cancel our Stockholm tickets. Doesn't want it. Yeah, it's all right there. You're good.
Don't even, man. If I see your black ass anywhere in Stockholm, I'm gonna lose it. Hey, me! I'm on the first flight home.
Can you imagine?
No, I couldn't. Also, as well, given the amount of organisation that's involved with getting us in the same place to even record Geek Syndicate, I'm fairly confident that you're not gonna turn up in Stockholm for my 50th.
Mate, I'm struggling to afford the bus fare to central London, let alone a plane to Stockholm. I'm brassic, man, so you're safe.
I can see the conversation go. So Dave, yes, this is Sue. We're going to be. I'm organising we're going off to Stockholm because Brian wants to be out of the country, but I'm going to organise a special get together for him, even though he doesn't know about it. So you interested in coming? Hello.
Yeah. It's a lot easier than going, ooh, well,
about that.
Yeah.
Anyway. Shall we crack on with...
let's do it. I've got a shout out.
Okay, go for it.
So I was walking through London. I was walking through Leicester Square and someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, David. And I turned around and it's someone called Fola Evans Akimbola. And I taught her Introduction to Acting, in 2013.
Oh, wow.
And she said, because I've always remembered your classes, I found them really inspiring and they inspired me to move on and take acting seriously. So to date, hold on, what is it? To date, she did like a couple of TV stuff, Youngers, Holby City. Then she was in 4 episodes of Death in Paradise.
Okay.
Then she was in 2 episodes of Game of Thrones as one of Cal Morrow's wives, whoever he is, because I ain't seen that.
Okay.
And then she's just about to head back to Canada to start filming series 3 of an American TV show called Siren, and she's one of the main characters.
Is this the one with the mermaids?
It's the one with the let me tell you, killer mermaids, man.
Okay, killer mermaids.
They ain't nice. They're predators. Put it that way. So yeah, that's the one. Apparently, it's doing well enough to have got its 3rd series. So she's since I taught her. She's doing well. She's doing better than me. Ain't better. But I'm proud. So
you put that on your CV, man.
That shows she's doing them genre shows. She's kicking it out the park. And you go, follow. Well, proud.
Yeah, respect, man.
Yeah, glad I could be a part of that.
Yeah. Shout out I want to give is to one of our listeners, which is Brett Harris. We had another listener email, but we'll do that next episode. But this one came through, and I want to give a shout out because it's a good one. So Brett's from Sunny Oz. I'm not even going to attempt to do an Australian accent. I'm just going to read it out.
Probably best.
G'day, Barry. No, I'm not. Well, just give it a go. But no. Hope you and Sue are well and having fun. Yes, we are. I've got a strange question for you. See, my 10-year-old listened to a couple of episodes. So first off, apologies.
Was that wise?
Dunno. When you say a couple of episodes, I'm trying to think now. They won't be swearing. Dunno. Could be. Anyway, I'm sorry. Have you heard this email yet?
No.
Okay. So I'll start again. See, my 10-year-old listened to a couple of your episodes and now says he was chipping when he sees someone really running really fast. So let's just recap. Is the 10-year-old in Australia now using the term chipping in its correct vernacular?
Boy, we are changing the world.
We're changing the world.
Time.
Yeah, which is totally awesome. My wife loves saying it too and wants to know where it comes from. We think it might be some sort of rhyming slang, but haven't been able to figure it out. Can you please be a cunning linguist and tell us this? All the best, my friend Brett Harris. Well, I could tell you one thing. It doesn't rhyme with anything.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
No, so see, I don't even remember.
I've got
it's just one
idea.
of those things when we were growing up that everyone just said. My older brothers always said it, so that's probably where I picked it up from, and all our mates were saying it.
Yeah, it's not really something you hear anymore.
No, I don't even want to say like it was.
Maybe it's something like you got to chip along. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Because it wasn't really a black thing. It was more like a kind of North London thing, wasn't it? Or a London thing.
Maybe it was that local. Maybe it was that localized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, man. We can't help you on that.
Yeah. So sorry. We have now.
Apparently, it's also a golf term.
Right. That I can understand that.
Yeah, but that's what I got.
Yeah. Sorry, Brett and Brett's son, who we would give a proper shout out to if we knew what your first name was.
Shout out to Brett's son.
Shout out to Brett's son, and shout out to Brett's wife, whose name we also don't know.
Yeah, to the Brett family.
Yeah.
To Catherine, who's one of my podcasting students, and I do 2 weeks like a basic podcasting course. The second week she said, "Yeah, I listened to your Endgame special." I was like, "Oh, okay, nice." There you go.
Glad we could help.
Shout out to you, Catherine. Hope you're still listening. It wasn't a one-off that's put you off forever.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on with it. Should we talk about the week that was?
Or I could do one bit of news.
Or we could do one bit of news.
Right. One bit of news coming up.
News.
Hot off the press. It's not really hot off the press. It's hot off my Google search.
Go on.
So I've just got. I don't even know if I've really got an opinion on this. I do. So I don't know if you've heard this, but so the headline is: Fan fixes Avengers Endgame. Brie
Oh
Larson
my!
and Captain Marvel removed. Have you heard this?
I have heard this. I don't even know what to say.
So basically, what they're saying is that this fan edit removes a lot of the PC SJW aspects of Avengers Endgame, which feels forced and out of place. Right, I'm not going to read out what the changes are because fixes implies that they needed to be fixes. Yeah, I'm not going to read out what the changes are. I will put the link in the show notes and then people can go and have a look for themselves. But it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense.
It's beyond me.
I just don't.
It just does having women and people you don't agree with in something offend you that much? That I don't. Also, it's not your film.
Yeah.
The entitlement, man.
I mean,
here's my thing. Those characters have been in comics for years. Are you gonna go back and like just redraw a comic?
I just, yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, wow. Just wow.
My mouth is hanging open.
So you know,
and you know what makes me laugh? Those are the people who will call you a snowflake.
Yeah.
And you're like, how snowflaked were you that you had to do all of that? And actually, take your time. You got too much time on your hands.
Yeah. As I think I said before, my mum used to say, "Boy, you got time."
You're in it.
Because so obviously I've told Dave the changes off air because we don't want to spoil it for anyone. But I have to say, even I was surprised by the level of changes that's been done to this edit. But what I don't understand is what do you gain from that? It's not like you're gonna send this to the Russo brothers and they go, "Hey, you know what, kid? You got Moxie. We're gonna release that."
You got Moxie.
We're gonna release that to all the cinemas, and that's gonna be like they do Endgame. It ain't gonna happen. If you don't like those bits when you're watching the film, just forward it when you get on DVD. You know what? I don't even know why I even brought it up. Let's just get to it. It was nonsense. Just nonsense, man.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
No, and you know what scares me is between this and the petition to rewrite Game of Thrones and, you know, the petition, if you go back to last year about, you know, let's do a whole new Last Jedi film. And I'm not saying Last Jedi is perfect, by the way. Go and listen to what we thought about the film. To me, this is only the big, you know, this is clearly only the beginning.
Yeah,
madness. Just
stunned,
go to week.
Stunned,
go to week that was, man. I've got enough stuff to say week that was as
right.
is. You know
ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time for the week that was. Yeah. All right. Where do we start? Can we talk trailers?
Yes, we can.
All right. So there's two trailers that I saw this week, and the one I want to talk about, I can talk about them both, but the one I really want to talk about is Picard.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have seen it.
So it's really strange. Yeah. So for those who don't know, there's a new live action Star Trek TV series coming to TV. And it's just called Picard. And it's about Picard, and it's being played by Jean-Luc. Jean-Luc
Picard plays himself.
No, played by, I've forgotten his name.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, he's reprising his role as Picard. Obviously, he's a bit older. And so it takes place after he's left Starfleet. And this trailer is just like film footage of a vineyard and a voice going, "Yeah, you served us. You led the best rescue mission ever. You did this, and then you left. Why did you leave?" kind of thing. And then it opens up on Jean-Luc just looking up at the screen and looking a bit grisly.
Mm.
And that was it. It didn't tell you anything. There was nothing to it. It was I mean, there was nothing to it. And yet I sat there, I got goosebumps, my heart started beating, the hairs are... How was this nothing trailer had such a huge effect on me? What's that about?
Because I think it's the weight that comes with it.
Go on.
You know, I think by that what I mean is, so I remember when I think they did then show you stuff afterwards. So maybe that's the wrong way to put it. But I remember when they put out the first trailer for Indiana Jones, the fourth one, Kingdom of Crystal Skulls, and I think, and it literally, even though you then got a longer trailer, it started with him just picking up his hat.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember at the time, I think that was the only part of the trailer that stayed with me. I could care less what came afterwards, because it was just, to me, it just evoked all those memories of loving Indy from 11 upwards. And I think that's why I come back to this idea sometimes with these trailers, in that you don't need to give me a mini movie to get me invested in something, especially when it's something that's a known quantity, a known property.
Mm.
And I think I was the same with you with the Picard one. I kind of watched it and I was like, yeah, okay. And then when Picard came in at the end as well, I was and the dialogue as well, all three. I'm like, why is he quit? What's going on? Why is he back? Why do they need him? What's going on? You know. But really, all you've seen is a bloke in the vineyard. You haven't even seen a bloke in the vineyard. You've just seen a vineyard and some wine getting bottled.
Yeah.
I mean, I could film that in my back garden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't even like they had like classic track music playing, you know. But I just think I think it's the potential. I think that's what it is. I think it's the potential that it represents. I think that's where the weight comes from.
Okay, I'll take it, but it's got me. It's just got me psyched for it.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
So speaking of similar things, they brought out a new trailer. Well, the first trailer for the new Terminator film.
Yeah.
You've seen it, haven't you?
I have seen it.
And I'm a bit mixed with that. I'm a bit mixed with it, mainly because I feel like the Terminator franchise has kind of burnt me.
just a little bit.
Yeah, just a tad. And I just don't feel that I've really enjoyed the Terminator film since Terminator 2.
Yeah.
You know, I think I've come out of them and gone, yeah, it was all right. But I think the closest thing that really came to jazzing me about Terminator was the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, that was great.
You know what I mean? And I think that kind of finished before its time. And watching the trailer, I thought, you know, action beats, it's nothing I hadn't really seen before, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, almost a little bit like back to the Picard thing. There's one, it's not a spoiler, but there's one shot in there where you see, because Linda Hamilton's come back as Sarah Connor. And the minute I saw Sarah Connor and the look of her, I'm like, you know what? This could be a hot train wreck. I'm there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What did you think of it?
I thought it looked, they've got a new design Terminator. It is essentially just like, well, let's do what we did before, but do it again, slightly better. So I was like, this looks all right. It didn't look like it was going to change my world, but I thought it looked all right. But like you, it was when Sarah Connor stepped out the car, I was like, okay, it's on now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And she come, and I'm not spoiling people, but it's like she come prepped.
Yeah.
Played, man.
Yeah. And what was interesting was there was no mention of John Connor in that either. Mm-hmm. So I'm really interested.
But one of the things that I did hear, because there was a behind the scenes video with James Cameron, and what he said is that this is a straight continuation from Terminator 2.
Oh, interesting.
And what he's saying is, yeah, forget it, because they've kind of gone, what about other films? Yeah, forget those. That's basically what he said. Is like, yeah, forget those. This is the real deal, Jeremy. which is a bit harsh.
Yeah, a bit. But
It's a bit harsh, but yeah,
but,
if that's what it is. That's what it is, you know. So yeah, so this is out, I think, in November. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. But times are wasting. I definitely want to talk about. Quick mention too, because I don't want to like hog up all the space. I'll talk David Gemmell maybe next episode. But so I've been watching Supergirl. When I say watch Supergirl, I kind of dip in and out of it as I do with some of the CW shows. I don't really watch them all now back to back. I kind of look at a synopsis and go, yeah, that might be quite interesting. I sort of treat them a little bit like shows back in the day we used to watch as kids, where you just rock up and watch an episode.
Yeah.
And I kind of, you know what I mean? And I kind of just have it on in the background a little bit. But mainly because Lex Luthor has always been one of the villains that I've always really liked when he's done well. And I was really interested to see, because they're bringing Lex Luthor into it, and I really want to see how they do Lex Luthor in Supergirl, you know. And interested, the guy they cast is an actor called John Cryer. And he played in you know, Superman 4 Return, what is it, Quest for Peace, which wasn't a good film.
No.
Right? And it had Lex Luthor, but Lex Luthor had it was like his nephew or something. It's the guy who was his nephew is now playing Lex Luthor.
Okay.
And they did an interview with him. One of the things he said was basically put up his hands and goes, look, Superman 4 ain't good. And I know I was a part of that. He said, what I'm hoping is I can kind of, you know, build some bridges with like my performance of Lex Luthor. Let me tell you, dude, you don't listen to the show, but should you ever stumble across it, man, you built some bridges with me. You built some bridges, man, because that's a Lex Luthor. That's a Lex Luthor. I'm like,
okay, all right.
You know what?
I have no idea where I'm up to with that.
John, well, as I said, the season overall, yeah, but
what season is that though?
It's the latest one, so season 4.
I don't know. Look, I'm just looking it up. I'll tell you where I am up to on Supergirl. I won't. I took it off my list. No, I didn't. There it is. I'm on season 3. Last thing I watched was season 3 episode. Basically, I watched Crisis on Earth X. And
yeah.
That was the last thing I watched.
Yeah. I thought he was able to channel some of like the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor, but some of the Lex Luthor from Lois and Clark, which was one of my favorite Lex Luthors, but also Clancy Brown. He was good, man. He was good. And my boy, when you say my man was planning, my boy was work. There's literally a whole episode which kind of shows his planning of a particular thing. And I was just like, yep.
Right. Okay.
Cut me a slice of that, man. Yeah, he was good, man. He was good. As I said, overall, I didn't really enjoy the season of Supergirl, but there were parts of it I did enjoy, but his performance and him, yeah.
Cool. All right, then. Go my man.
Okay.
What else we got? Oh, should we talk about Rim of the World? Or do you want to save that?
Let's talk Rim of the World, because then we could finish on a high with Into the Badlands.
Okay, all right. Let me get the blurb. So what both Barry and I seem to have noticed at the same time was a new movie come up on Netflix called Rim of the World. So it's a 2019 movie, science fiction adventure film directed by McGee from a screenplay by Zach Stentz. How would you describe this movie?
Well, I've heard people describe it as the Goonies meets The Goonies meets Independence Day, or Stranger Things meets Independence Day. Yeah.
So basically, it's a bunch of kids who are meant to be what, 13, 14, 15?
Well, that's part of the crux, Monts, is it's not really established.
So I've just gone on Wikipedia, and it says cast Jack Gore as Alex, a timid, smart 13-year-old teenager.
Okay, so we're looking at about 13 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got these 4 kids who meet at a camp, like an American holiday camp, summer camp.
Yeah.
You got Alex, Zen Zen, a quiet runaway girl from China, Dariush, a spoiled rich teenager, and Gabriel, a teenager who escaped from a juvenile detention center. And basically, there's an alien invasion of Earth. And I'm laughing as I'm about to say it. There's an alien invasion of. Why are you coughing?
Sorry, I've actually got something in my throat.
Okay.
So.
There's an alien invasion of Earth, and then an astronaut basically falls to Earth in an escape capsule in front of them and says, "You need to get this key to a bloke somewhere. It will save the world." And they start off across America. Have I got that?
No, yeah, that pretty much covers it. So when I say up front, there will be spoilers for the first half of this film. Dave hasn't seen the second half.
No, I haven't.
So there will be some spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, we'll try and keep it a bit light, to be honest, on the spoiler front. So, but if you generally don't want to be spoiled, you might want to skip ahead sort of 5-10 minutes. So what were your thoughts on the what you've seen so far?
So I'm halfway through.
Yeah.
And we kind of got to the bit where they handed the key over to some American soldiers, and then they got blasted by aliens, and the soldiers like, "It's on you now." That's kind of where I've got up to.
Right. Can I just say before you go on that there's literally a scene for that shot for shot in Transformers.
Is there? Do you know what? There was something. Do you know what? So, we'll get there in a second. So my first thing is, I'm conflicted because I'm enjoying this movie, and some of the ways it's shot is great. So like whenever there's some action and they're getting chased or something's happening, they kind of change the camera and it becomes a shaky camera, and you really get this feel of being in this really chaotic moment, and it's so different from the more static moments. I've really, really liked that.
Yeah.
However, there is so much about this film to hate that I'm conflicted. So you said there's that scene which was shot from Transformers. There's another scene in a kitchen which is shot for shot from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I mean, shot. I haven't seen Jurassic Park in a long time, and I was going. I said to Siobhan, there's something really familiar about this, and then I was like, this is. I mean, shot for shot.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then, considering this is meant to be 13-year-olds, some of the dialogue. So Darius, the rich teenager, is going, we got to do this because the last thing you want is a Lithuanian smoothie. And I'm like, and someone goes, what's this Lithuanian smoothie? And he goes, best I don't say anything. And I was like, of course I'm going to Google that. Oh, my dear Lord, Barry.
Really?
I regret Googling that. There is nothing for Lithuanian smoothie. But there is something for Hungarian smoothie.
Okay.
And I guess that's what they're referencing. Oh my dear Lord! How can you put this in a film? I wish I didn't know. I'm not even going to tell you.
No, I don't want to know, man. I don't want to know.
I'm not. It is that bad. And then I'm suddenly thought. So here's something they're trying to do. They're trying to relive that era of like Porky's and National Lampoon's Animal House. You know, all those comedy films about teenagers coming of age and trying to have sex and just being rude and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, so you're trying to go back to that. Number one, that time's done. Number two, these kids are meant to be younger than that. So that joke shouldn't even have raised its head.
See, and that's part of my... So overall, my problem was, and I couldn't even admit to Sue, like Sue loved it. Like she loved it. She was like, it's just a throwback to like Goonies and all that. I just love it. What did you think? I was like, I really enjoyed it, because I did really enjoy it, but I didn't want to kind of take it away from her because she really enjoyed it so much. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. And I could feel like if I talk about some of the other things I didn't like, I'm just going to get vexed.
And my problem is one, when it started, it actually came on to say it was a 15.
Right.
So straight away, I'm like, if you're trying to hit that kind of, trying to recapture like your Goonies and I'm trying to think of other films that were back on in the day. Like,
yeah, we know what you mean.
We're still with Goonies, is that they were for that age group.
Yes, they were.
They were for that age group. They weren't for 15, 16 year olds. Everyone could enjoy them. You know what I'm saying? Everyone could enjoy them, but they were the humor levels, the whatever was for that age group.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
you know my campaign already. I just think you're taking stuff away from kids as it is. Like the amount of stuff we had to watch is greatly reduced. Now people are letting their kids go and watch stuff anyway, but I still think as a kid I could go and watch stuff and it would still be vaguely appropriate.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, you have to decide, okay, this ain't appropriate for my kid, but I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like you said, Goonies was something you could watch as a kid and not worry about it.
And I get we live in a different time and the rest of it. So there's that, the tone of it, like I said, and there's some, and that's why I was interested to see if you watch it, because there's some stuff later on. One scene in particular, where I was just like, what the hell? Because off air, have you watched a bit where like they have to they kind of bed down for the night?
No.
Okay.
So I've got to that bit where literally this is where we turned off, mainly because the baby woke up, but where she gets into bed and goes, okay, one of you can sleep with me. And they were like, did she say sleep with her?
Yeah, that's it.
And that's what made me think of all that Porky stuff and National Lampoon.
My thing is, I think that actress is like 11, 12. Right? And on one level, I get what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? But it's just handled, for me, it's handled badly.
With a sledgehammer.
It's just uncomfortable. For me, it was uncomfortable for many, you know what I mean? On many levels, it just felt, one of you can, it's just the way it drops. Yeah. One of you can sleep with me. And then they got, it just didn't sit right. You know? And I've seen similar things like that done in Goonies-like films back in the day, and it was just handled so much better. It's not the fact that it's not even the fact of saying, like, you know, kids that age can't be romantically, do you know what I mean? Can't have a boyfriend, girlfriend, but it's just the way it was handled.
Yeah. And that's not even my biggest problem.
Like I said, I'm going to say this. Overall, I enjoyed the film. It was a fun film. However, the Darius dude, I don't even know where to start, man.
No, let's forget the Darius dude. Yeah. So number one, they go to this summer camp.
Yeah.
If that was an actual summer camp, that would have been shut down. Because I'd walk in there and go, you guys are leading it? I ain't leaving my kid here. You're mad. Yeah, properly inappropriate for a start. Then you got these two black guys in there. And I was literally, Siobhan and I sat there with our mouths open. She looked at me and she went, is this for real? And I went, yeah, this is happening. I'm like, you could not have got two bigger, black, smart talking, playing it for tricks clowns. They were clowns.
Yeah.
Basically. And
they
I'm
might
like,
as well have been juggling in the background.
They might as well have been juggling in the background, dancing. They might have, that whole dancing monkey thing.
Yeah.
That's what was happening there. And I'm like, and they tried to make a point of it. Goes, why are we talking like black guys from the 80s? Because, that's what they want to hear. And I'm like, no. That ain't, just because you acknowledged it, that ain't fixing it.
But also as well, which is why Stranger Things became the phenomenon, whatever you want to call it, was because it was able to give you that 80s nostalgia, throw in some more modern spin on things. You didn't feel like it was just stereotypes from the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good stuff in the 80s. There's a lot of bad stereotypes in the 80s that we don't really want to be remembered.
Right.
It's just... And that's the other thing I was going to say about Stranger Things. Stranger Things has a kind of romantic angle to it with like 11 and I forgot one of the kids or whatever. But that's handled it's sweet. Do you know what I mean? It's nice. It's just handled well. It's just badly handled.
Yeah. So, and then as an
Go on.
extension, we've got Darius, who's the black kid in the 4
Yeah.
group. And basically, he's an extension of he's an extension of the black clown.
He's not even funny.
No, and it's like he doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know what? A part of me I'm standing there, I'm like, dude, you just need to shut up. I'm watching this movie going, and it's like, okay, you know what? You should be too freaked out to even be making jokes right now. I don't.
But the thing is, it's like to play devil's advocate when you've watched Jumanji, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you've got Kevin Hart's character in there, and he's running along similar lines.
True.
But the difference is, he's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
I could forgive a lot and the jokes that he's bussing are kind of jokes that I would have been busting in if I was in Kevin Hart's situation. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And also Kevin Hart, he's just the comedy. It just works. And
also, he's a grown man.
Yeah.
Do some of them he's like, oh.
It just.
And some of them are so obvious. No, yeah, I've had sex. I have. Yeah. Oh, did I say I didn't? No, I meant I had. Yeah. You're like, okay, yeah, we got you.
But I just feel like if they'd shared it out a little bit more. So there were times when they all looked. Well, I suppose there was a little bit, but it wasn't even. I think all of them felt just a little bit cardboard cut out anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's, like you said, there you go. She doesn't really speak, and you kind of knew from the minute that they set up the agent who didn't really say anything. I knew there was going to be some moment where she would start speaking and she'd speak. Do you know what I mean? Proper American, but it just, I don't know much, man. Like I said, there's a lot of it I really liked, but every time I just delve a bit too deep in it.
And the thing is, it's like I'm halfway through, and I am going back to watch the rest of it because I'm enjoying it. But the stuff that's killing me, I was that close to switching off. I have to admit, I was that close.
You can't paper over that. I watched it. I enjoyed it. Glad I seen it. On the upside, it's got a cracking. Not on the upside. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it. It's got a cracking score as well by Bear McCreary. When you listen to that without the film as well, you realise just how good the music this film is as well. But yeah, check it out for yourselves. Make your mind up. Let us know.
You let us know. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Oh, to round up. So Into the Badlands is and funnily enough, so the latest seasons have been filmed in Ireland in much the same places. It's sort of in, like Game of Thrones, filmed in Northern Ireland. So they're all on that island there. This one's just got a touch more diversity, but I'm not even going to get into that. Only, do you know what it is? It's just because everyone's going on about Game of Thrones, and I'm not taking it away. It might be great. I'm not watching it, but it's like I open up my Facebook, like, okay, I'm a bit bored of this now, and no one's talking about Into the Badlands.
Yeah, I know. It's a crime.
So Into the Badlands is, do you know what? It's probably easier if I get the blurb up. So Into the Badlands.
I mean, long-time listeners will know that we've talked about the show as well. We love it.
It's set in a post-apocalyptic world approximately 500 years after a war that left civilization in ruins. Many elements of technology such as electricity and ground vehicles have survived, but society now shuns guns, and so you get weapons like crossbows, bows and arrows, swords, and most of the fighting it's kind of like kung fu based. So for people who grew up like us and Friday nights was getting together with a few drinks and watching some old school kung fu movies, this is just like heaven for us.
Yeah.
And we've just watched the third and last season right up until the finale. And I haven't even asked you what you thought of the finale, but let's just talk about the season over the 3 seasons overall. How's it left? How has it been? Was there a weak season? Was there a strong season? Or was it all pretty much up there?
You know what, right? It's just consistent. it was consistently good. And one of the things I'm going to say as well is like, it's not a spoiler because I won't say how this particular character goes out of the show or whatever, but it was quite brave because I think they set up a really good villain. And
Yes.
certain shows have done a similar thing, and they've just kept that villain around because, you know, they're a fan fave and blah, blah, blah. But one of the things I quite liked about this show is that they were brave enough to kind of do something different.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, try and change the game, as it were, and to bring in like a new villain who had a completely different agenda.
Yeah, different agenda.
And to begin with, you were kind of, I'm not sure where's he coming from. Is he coming from a good place? And then you kind of see where it ends up and stuff. So now I thought, and I still think the idea of it, some of the world building is great.
It's fantastic.
The way the world building's done in it, you kind of learn on the fly. So there wasn't really lots of bits where it would just stop and someone would give you this big dialogue and, well, in the Badlands we have Clippers and who Clippers are, or this, that, and the other. And we have Baron. You kind of learn as it goes on, which is what I quite like. And you get introduced to new parts of the world and new groups of people and stuff. But I have to say, any show that can bring in Nick Frost, who I've just known as like, you know, comedy buffoon dude. And I say that with the best will in the world, as in I love Nick Frost. Do you know what I mean? But when they brought him in to In the Badlands, when they announced, I was a bit, really?
Likewise, I was like,
I don't know about this.
You're killing my show here, man.
You're killing him. What are you bringing him in for? We don't need comedy psychic. What's going on here? And then the minute they put a pair of nunchucks in that dude's hands, I was like, oh, damn, my boy's got some skin.
Right, so this is what, I think it was Dave.
Oh, yeah, Dave Williams, yeah.
So I think it was Dave Williams, old friend, who said, looking at the consistent choreography, how good the choreography in that show is, and the fact that they can make Nick Frost look like a badass kung fu fighter, that just means there was no excuse for what was happening in Iron Fist.
Yeah, none.
None.
You know, I say this like with no hint of sarcasm, but like Nick Frost, and I'm not even looking at the rest of the show. Nick Frost was better in that show than the dude that had playing Iron Fist.
Absolutely. It's just beyond. It's just beyond.
You know, the way he fought as well. You know, he reminded me, there's an old school martial arts dude from back in the day. He always used to buddy up with Jackie Chan. I think his name's Sammo Hung. Same kind of build. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it reminded me of, what they were going with, like his fighting style as well. But even outside of the fighting style, the way they used him and the comedy that he was dropping, he was good, man.
Yeah. No.
He was good. He was
just,
such a cracking show. And the villain they had in this last season, who again is another kind of beefy, chunky dude like Nick Frost and Pilgrim. That guy's got some kung fu game, man.
Yeah. So how did you? So without spoiling it, was the finale satisfying for you?
It was, from the point of view of like, I wanted it to be like a martial arts extravaganza, and that's what I got.
Yeah.
Because what I loved about it is, well, you had some fights in there. Well, you had two big fights. Yeah, I'm not going to say who's fighting who, but you had two big fights at the end,
which was pretty much the format of the show. Every show had two awesome fights in it.
Yeah.
Every episode.
But you had, both fights were like three people against one person.
Yeah.
Right. But the way those fights were set up, you could have only had three people against those 2-1 people because they were that powerful. You know, but even the three people that were fighting were all powerful in their own right. Do you know what I mean? And their fighting skills have been established. They're not just rocking up in one episode. And both fights were different. One was more kind of weapons based. One started weapons and went hand to hand. You got people flying around on wires. It was wicked, man. It was wicked. I'm gutted though, because I thought it was rounded up, and you could argue we got an ending, but at the same time, very much you can see they were setting up the siege for a full season.
I know, and I kind of wished. My thing is like, they were setting up for a fourth season, and knowing that they weren't going to get one, I kind of wish they'd just kind of like, you know what, let's just cut that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all.
The last 5 minutes, you could have cut that or reshot it slightly differently. I'd have been happy that I got an ending. But yeah. But overall, I have to say, if you love martial arts, a little bit of Mad Max stuff going on, and you haven't checked out Into the Badlands yet, get on it.
I'd love that. Loved it. That show made me so happy. I just want to salute at its passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So round us up, fella.
So you know the deal. You've heard what we've said. Some of it may be a bit controversial. I don't know. You decide, and you let us know what you think. Did you like what we liked? Did you not like what we liked? Do you agree? Do you not disagree? Let us know. You can do it by emailing us at thegeeks@geeksyndicate.co.uk. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. You can find our groups on Facebook. Come looking, and don't forget to check out the website at geeksyndicate.co.uk. So till next time, Geek Syndicate, we out.
We out.